Podcast Bites.
If a person doesn't have any mental, emotional self-management skills, then a medicine ceremony can be a real ball buster. And depending on the dose and the environment, a person can literally, to put it in a cliche term, crack up. They can lose their sense of who they are.
Exactly.
They can become ultimately schizophrenic. They can have multiple personality disorders. And I could give you all the technical lingo, but that's not important. Just basically, it fractures the soul. The person, when I use my clairvoyance and look into the fields of people that have had these kinds of problems, which you and I are familiar with, it looks very similar to if you took a rock and threw it at the mirror in the bathroom, how it would just fracture into pieces and pieces would fall out and there'd be black holes where the back of the mirror is showing through and there's no glass. So it's as though, if you imagine the soul as a circle within which is this beautiful mirror, and all of a sudden someone hit it with a hammer, the medicine experience is just so strong for some people, and it brings up so much of their unconscious. And because of, especially when you have Christian or traditional Abrahamic religious programming, where you have all this polarity in you about God and the devil, and then you all of a sudden are in a medicine ceremony and you're coming face to face with the fact that maybe you'd been sexually abused and you didn't realize it, or you'd been a sexual abuser of somebody else, or if you'd abused people violently, or you went against the 10 Commandments and you were sure you were going to burn in hell. Well, you can't tell the difference between a thought and reality when you're deep on a medicine. So you actually live the experience. So if a person does not know how to manage that, and someone hasn't processed them to see how much stuff there is hiding down there in the unconscious, then going to a medicine ceremony is really taking the lid off of Pandora's box. And what I see going on is tons of ceremonies with no effective preparation, no flight training. I call that flight training, learning how to manage yourself in the journey, and no post-journey integration. And people going from one dose to more. I mean, I've had people come to me that have started off with 2 days of ayahuasca, added a third day of ayahuasca, and then put LSD in the mix. And then by the third or fourth day, they're bringing out the DMT. So now they're doing ayahuasca, LSD, and DMT together. And LSD and ayahuasca,
I mean, it just sounds like a drug party.
The thing is they're going in opposite directions energetically. So you got one drug that's totally yang and lifting you up out of yourself, and then you got ayahuasca that's very yin and pulling you back into yourself. So the next thing you know, you have this kind of chemical war going on inside of you, and that mirrors itself in your psyche. So people get it's like, drinking Drano and it just guts you.
Avocado, motherfucker.